You found it. Your home for the best content on your favorite team, the Fighting Tigers of LSU. Do us a favor. Subscribe to the channel. Leave your comments below. Be sure to smash that like button. Brian Kelly started a Wednesday on the SEC Coaches Teleconference, as he does every Wednesday, and he had some fantastic news updating the status of LSU freshman offensive tackle Will Campbell.
Yeah, Will was released from the hospital. He has cleared all of the testing necessary for him to practice. He practiced yesterday. He will practice again today, and we expect him to play this Saturday.
That is awesome news, man, for a lot of reasons. Obviously, first and foremost, seeing Will Campbell post the picture on Friday from the hospital bed and learning after the game that he had an episode and EMS came out to the practice field. When you see that, it's sort of a sobering reminder of what's a game and what's real life. Honestly, I mean, I'm not saying don't be passionate about your sports. Of course, we all are. I mean, I talk about sports for a living, so I'm not saying it's just a game. It doesn't matter. Of course, it all does. But this is a reminder of there are things in life that are bigger. So great news, first and foremost, let me say that Will Campbell is healthy, passed all the battery of tests, and was back at practice yesterday, Tuesday, and then is preparing to play against Florida, which is awesome. And they're going to need him against Florida. Now, the other big question is, with Garrett Dellinger out at left guard, what do you do there? I do want to point this out. LSU announced on Saturday that Cam Wire would be starting at left tackle. That's not what they did, actually, though. It was actually Bradford that started at tackle, and Xavier Hill, when Dellinger went down, went in at left guard. Now that Campbell is back, Brian Kelly, well, this was on Monday, by the way. This was on Monday, when there was still a lot of uncertainty there about what you do at left tackle. Brian Kelly was asked if Bradford would play tackle, and he tipped his hand where they prefer to have Anthony Bradford.
Yeah, so we're looking forward to our sixth combination on the offensive line. Look, I can tell you right now as I stand here, we've got 4 guys that we know for sure, and then the rest we'll have to kind of figure out. We really like Bradford inside. We lose a lot, in terms of his physicality, when we move him out to tackle. So, the ideal situation would be to get him back inside, but we're going to have to see, how this thing plays out during the week.
So the ideal situation is for Bradford to go inside with – remember, so he played left tackle last week, and he played some left tackle last year as a freshman also. So with Campbell back at left tackle, you get your wish. You get to move Bradford back inside. Now the question is, do you play Bradford at right guard or left guard? Because keep in mind, the right side of your line has been Emory Jones at right tackle and then Anthony Bradford at right guard. So – in theory, you would stick Bradford back at right guard where he was prior. You put him back to his position, so you have what you feel is your best offensive line down only Garrett Dellinger, because if you move Bradford over, now you're affecting 2 spots. I think you all understand that. So you go Campbell at left tackle, Charles Turner at center, Bradford at right guard, Emory Jones at right tackle. So 4 of your 5 slots are the same. The question is, what do you do at left guard? And we've seen LSU with a couple of different options at left guard. Of course, the opening game of the season, Miles Frazier started there when Garrett Dellinger was starting at center. On Saturday, when Dellinger went out, it was Xavier Hill that went in at left guard. And quite honestly, he didn't have a great day. So I don't know that they have a perfect option there. And it's certainly not going to be an option as good as Garrett Dellinger. Of course, when Dellinger broke his hand, they were without him for a chunk of the game 2 weeks ago against Auburn. So, I don't know what they'll do. My feeling is you kind of tipped your hand last week when you went Xavier Hill because you weren't really excited about Miles Frazier there at left guard, but Xavier Hill didn't play great. So you kind of let those 2 guys battle it out this week in practice to see who ends up there. You started the season with Miles Frazier there. It probably would make sense that he be your guy in that slot, but we'll all find out together. The thing I'll tell you about Florida, though, defensively, the more I start to peel back the layers of the onion with this game, Florida's defensive front is not great. They have good linebackers. Ventrell Miller is a veteran dude, and he's going to be an NFL linebacker. Cox is a great linebacker. Their defensive front, though, their defensive line it hasn't been great this year. Florida is 13th in the SEC in run defense. That's 13 out of 14, by the way. That's second to last in run defense. They have given up yardage in the running game. Tennessee ran it for over 200 yards against them. Of course, Utah had success on the ground against Florida. Kentucky had success on the ground against Florida. You can run the ball against Florida. The challenge is LSU's not a good running team. The offensive line hasn't been good. Your best running back, Armani Goodwin, or your starting running back, your number one running back, Armani Goodwin, has been out. So you're trying to kind of piece it together a little bit with the backs that you have. So that's a situation where it's week on week, and something's got to give. Either Florida's run defense will hold, or LSU's going to be able to chew up some yardage on the ground, like they were able to do late again, in the second half against Auburn, where they were able to ice that game away. That's going to be the game within the game to watch. The other thing, though, is Florida, kind of like Tennessee, does get a little aggressive. Florida is middle of the pack in the league in sacks, but LSU's second to last in sacks allowed. So LSU, the offensive line, has been a problem. The inability to run the ball and the inability to protect your quarterback. So something there has to give. If you're LSU, you would love to be able to line up and run the football the way you were able to in the second half against Auburn, unlike you were able to do at all against Tennessee. How much progress can they make? Having Will Campbell back will clearly make a big difference for LSU Saturday in the Swamp. How much of a difference? We'll wait and see how it plays out. But that's a situation where you have an opportunity to exploit a weakness, which is Florida's run defense. If LSU's able to get it going on the ground, having Will Campbell back is a big plus there. Hey, thanks so much for watching. Please leave your comments. I love to interact, and be sure to hit the red subscribe button below.